Hello, and welcome to Game Overcast, episode 38, the only show not afraid to tell you that the Wing Zero Custom is a piece of crap that the Barbados could kick any day of the week. That's right. Hashtag mecha gags that like 4 people are going to get. Ha ha ha. What do you have to say about that, Britt?
What?
Roll the intro. No, I'm telling you, the Wing Zero Custom is all beam attacks. It has the double-barreled beam, the Buster rifle, and then the beam sabers. And if I'm not mistaken, they got rid of the only solid projectile weapon, which was the Vulcan. So, hi, welcome to Game Overcast. Anyways, the Barbados has a beam-resistant paint coating. Can you imagine that? Like, just like,
Help me.
it's like paint that resists beams. And Mika is like the little murder midget where he just goes flying in there. Yeah. Sorry. All right.
I refuse to watch that show, by the way.
It's so good. I don't get why you won't watch it.
No, because I don't. No. I love the Gundam games to death. Like, don't get me wrong. Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam is one of my favorite games in the absolute universe. Top 5 favorite games. Absolutely. Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam is definitely on there. But the shows.
Phenomenal.
I mean,
IBO
whiny.
is amazing. Just because.
There's a lot of
there
whining.
There isn't any whining in Armored Orphans.
There's a lot of Howard Mason.
Howard the Mason is fine.
I just can't. I can't take it sometimes. You know, maybe like in really small chunks.
But there's so many like sexy
Too
robots.
much crying.
It's great.
Too much crying and too much dying. There.
The dying is fine. It's like Attack
no
on
crying,
Titan
no
level
dying. That's my motto.
Yeah, words to live by. No crying.
No crying, no dying. You're not allowed.
None whatsoever. So apologies if I don't think you'll be able to see it, but we have kind of a ramshackle setup because our normal table is being used for Black Friday right now.
Black Friday.
So we can't. We don't have a table, so we have like a wire rack.
I'm kidding.
But hey, whatever it takes. If you're listening to the show, it doesn't matter. We could be doing this naked. We're not. Relax. It's okay. Maybe. Actually, then again, the camera can't see below my shirt anyway, so it's okay.
That's true.
Mystery.
Pajamas.
That's right.
I really don't have pajamas on.
I'm wearing my Batman jammies right now. It's the best. I wish we had Gundam jammies.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Moving along.
My god.
Game Overcast.
I'm gonna order you one of those like Gundam jackets from Wish. It's probably gonna come in a completely different color, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, I saw that one, the one you're talking about, where it's like the RX-78, like the original Gundam colors. Yeah. But on the bottom, like colors might vary due to lighting. So it's gonna be this like red, white, and blue jacket that's like orange, pink, and green. And then the sizes are all weird. They're Chinese sizes, so I would wear like a 16 XL. Make me feel even fatter than I already am. That's okay, whatever. No. All right, games. We're getting. Hi,
games.
I'm Matt. Nice to see you today.
Hello, Matt.
Hello. Who are you?
Hello. I don't know. God, stop. I'm Brittany.
Hello, Brittany.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me, do you like video games?
I'm always on the show.
Okay, fine. So you're not welcome. Does that make you feel better?
So mean.
You're on the show because, I don't know.
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Okay.
Because John's not here right now.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We miss you, John.
Moving right along, let's do some now playing.
Yes.
Matt, what are you now playing? Well, Matt, I'm playing Battlefield 5. It's really good.
You like it. And you know what?
I do.
You know, for all of your...
Ow!
Good. I hope it hurt. No, I'm kidding.
We will discuss.
Okay.
But allow me just to get this out without you popping in.
Okay.
So
I'll try.
It's almost a shame the game's really good because EA is stupid and told people not to buy it. And it shows because the physical sales for Battlefield 5 are down more than 50% and the game's already half off on Xbox One and PS4, which is a shame.
For Battlefield 5?
Yes. It's as bad as Fallout 76, which we'll get to later.
I thought...
but the game itself, like I haven't touched the single player because it's Battlefield. Who cares? Like it's there. I never want to touch it again. I didn't like it in the last one or the one before that or the one before that. It was there. It was, yeah.
So you're one of those people that you just skip campaign and you just go straight to multiplayer?
Only in Battlefield games.
That's cool.
I loved Call of Duty campaigns more than the multiplayer. I haven't touched Black Ops 4 that much because I don't care about zombies.
Well,
I don't care
also
about
Black
Battle
Ops
Royale.
4 doesn't have a
That's
campaign.
what I mean. That's why I haven't touched it because I like Call of Duty campaigns. I'm one of like the 8 people that likes Call of Duty campaigns.
Yeah.
Regrettably, I don't think anybody likes Battlefield campaigns. I don't think so because they're there. It's meh.
Did you play the campaign for 2142?
There wasn't one.
There wasn't one?
No,
It was
the first
just
one I had
online?
one I think was either 3 or 4. I think 3 had one. But yeah, 2142 most definitely did not. It didn't have a story. It was just like this side and that side, and that's about it. Just go at it, which is fine because they did it really well, and it was cool. But no, 5 is really good. It's not perfect. It's So there's a bug right now where if you revive some putty, if you actually get some plumber's putty and revive it, it bounces like A Boy and His Blob, but in World War II.
Aw.
Yeah.
A Boy and His Blob. That's a great game.
If you revive somebody, though, in certain situations, their body will slingshot when they wake up. Mm-hmm. So you can be on a bridge and revive someone, and he'll launch off the bridge and then just immediately die again or go flying into enemy territory. It's really, really fun. But I do strongly recommend, if you're going to play it by yourself, don't play it. Battlefield is not a game for solo play.
But that's something that I have to admire about Battlefield. That's always been Battlefield's thing. Like with Call of Duty, you can run and gun. You can be a one-man army, and that's absolutely fine. Something that I've always admired about Battlefield is it encourages team play. It encourages working together as a team to meet your objective.
Yes. And unless you're playing
I really like that because I feel like that's pretty realistic, right?
And unless you're playing, well, sort of, but except for the whole being revived and slingshotting. But I get what you mean. But you understand what I mean. No man's a Rambo kind of thing. Yeah.
And I feel like that's cool because less annoying children play Battlefield. But
we have no problems with children, just the annoying kind. You know who you are.
Accurate. However, I do have problems with Fortnite. Okay, moving on.
What? Oh, that not game. Got
Fortnite.
Cool.
No, it didn't deserve Game of the Year.
It really didn't. It really didn't. But
I'm salty.
But if people like it, people like it.
So salty.
It is what it is. But anyways, so we'll probably come back to Battlefield later. But so that's what I'm playing now. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm enjoying. I'm playing with a group of like 9 or 10 people, so it's awesome. We'll get into a game and have 2 or 3 squads, and just win or lose, have a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
And you don't try hard. It's not a highly competitive gaming experience right for esports and blah. Once again, if you like esports, that's fine. It's not for me.
I mean, I don't understand. I've never really understood your kind of thing with esports. I think it's fine.
Oh, it's fine. It just to me, it kind of goes against my fundamental philosophy for video gaming, which it's supposed to be fun. And
of course.
I've played with a lot of these tryhard people, and they're no longer having fun. It is so serious and so intense where if I have fun, they're like, dude, how could you do that? And they'll all get banned.
Well, it's still fun, but it's also fun, like, you have to consider it is fun to be competitive.
I get
you know,
it.
like when you play games, yes, you do play games to have a good time. Yeah, you want to just throw on whatever and you want to forget about the world for a little bit and forget about your problems or whatever and play games. But sometimes it is fun to be competitive.
You're right to a degree.
And
but
it's fun to win.
Also, I can guarantee you I've played with many, many much more sweaty nerds than you have. You ain't seen nothing. Okay, there is some hardcore.
Okay, but to be fair, I have run a lot of Smash tourneys.
You have, yes. So you've gotten a good glimpse of one that's kind of like soured my taste for it. It's not everyone, and once again, it's
absolutely.
If it's for you, that's fine. It's simply my opinion. I want you to do what you want to do, but even if you're competitive, there's that guy out there that takes it way too seriously and is a total jerk. It's not all of you, but there are occasionally the ones that I don't know, just care way too much about winning. And in any case, it's never good.
It's no different. I guess I understand, but it's no different from any other sport. Obviously, like those people, if you play a sport, you care about winning. You want to win. You're competitive. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
To me personally, when it comes in front of the game, which is fundamentally supposed to be an entertaining, fun experience, I no longer care.
Also, I think it's really fun to watch that stuff because you know me, like you were around when I was like binge watching the Pokemon World Tournament stuff.
Was so boring.
No, it's so good.
Just a bunch of nerds playing cards,
it's
so
amazing.
sternly. Like,
it's so good. And I'm
once
like,
again,
no, why did you do that?
I have to qualify a lot of stuff. I started the show with really obscure mecha references, so I'm not making fun of you for being a nerd because I'm worse. It's okay. It's really okay.
I think it's a blast to watch people compete.
That's fine.
I like it.
And once again, I get it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not my thing. So I enjoy when games just kind of like, screw it. It's okay. just have fun.
But I think that's also why there's two different, like with Overwatch, you could probably find a group that's playing Overwatch for fun.
Overwatch is like 99% hardcore.
And then you can find a group that's like super hardcore about it and they want to play competitively.
Also because most of Overwatch is pretty hardcore and it's like, It got old to me after a while where it's like, I just want to have a good time. I'm not here to freak out and to stress about things. Like, I don't care if I lose. True. It's okay. Like, I'm not saying I'm terrible at the game. Like, I do okay, but I get tired of it after a while. It's like I have enough stress at work. I don't need to stress at home. Like
I do understand.
I play games to chill, not
but
to be
at the same time, I am also that type of person. Like I stress out when I play a game. Like, I'm like, oh my god.
Okay, this is gonna sound kind of egocentric, but I win a lot anyways.
Oh my god.
So it's okay. I don't like to
Fair
stress.
enough.
I don't like to stress to win though. Like I don't care that much if I win. It just kind of happens.
Oh god.
You know what? I'm sorry.
Oh,
it's
man.
true. Like I don't do a lot of
that
hardcore
sounded so
stuff,
terrible.
but like when we play, like you and me play multiplayer stuff, I just kinda, it just happens. Maybe just because you're really bad.
Hey.
But
hey.
We'll move on. What are you now
There's
playing?
There's some stuff I'm good at.
You're right. There is.
There's some stuff I'm bad at too.
Yep.
So
You're
fine.
really good at tying your shoes.
Shut up.
Actually,
I just hit the mic. I punched it. It's like,
it's like, take that, listeners.
Rip headphone users. I'm so sorry.
Stealing your drink again, by the way.
Let's Go Pikachu.
Oh, I forgot that game existed.
Yes. No, it's actually pretty fun.
Good. I get to complain about it.
Okay. That's one of those games where if I come home and I've had a stressful day or whatever it is that's going on, I can pop it in. It's cute. It's fun. It's not too stressful. And I can just have a good time.
There is no challenge.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Fine.
It's cute.
Fine.
And Pikachu is adorable.
I will tell you this. For some reason, it never clicked with me that, this is a 1-to-1 remake of Red and Blue. That's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that never just, like, it just didn't, like, hit me for some reason. Like, I was like, oh, it takes place in the same area, but it's not actually, a remake of it. And for the most part, it seems to be to me where it's like, hey, cool, as much as I've played of it. But why, Game Freak, for the love of God, why can't I just sit on my couch and use a Pro Controller? It's just stupid.
I don't think that it's a problem.
It's a huge problem. I don't want to do this.
I mean, not for me though. It's really not that big of a deal because the controls are really not that in depth. So you can use the Joy-Con and you're just fine.
But they're not in depth.
There's
nothing
I should be able to
too
use
complicated.
A
bloody Pro Controller or 2 Joy-Cons.
I get it.
Why can't I? Why am I forced to use 1 Joy-Con?
You can if you have it in handheld
unless
mode.
unless it's in handheld mode.
But let's
which is
be real.
Even more dumb because that means that it's already there to be done.
But honestly, you play most of your games in handheld mode.
Yes, but I just don't get it though. Like
I think it's okay.
The controls are already there where you can play it in handheld mode. Use the motion controls for that. Why can't you just do that on a couch or with a Pro Controller? It's just the fact that it's not there drives me nuts because I
understand
I hate
because you like options.
Yes,
but for me, I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the game. I enjoy the game. It's super fun. I like it. It's not too okay.
You know what takes away from my enjoyment of the game? The entire capturing system.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I knew it was, but oh my god.
And that's what I was about to say. It's not a traditional Pokemon. I get it. It's not a traditional Pokemon.
So
but they didn't market it as a traditional Pokemon, and I decided to try it anyway, and I'm still enjoying it.
It's got its good parts. The character customization is a joke also, just for the record. Once again, Game
I was going
Freak,
to say
the laziest developer in AAA gaming today.
That
easily.
is my one complaint about that game is I wish that the character customization was better.
And you can get clothing later on, but can I please
Can you change hairstyles? Because I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe,
but
at
I
some
want
point,
to.
But good lord, it's like, dude, come on. There were handheld games a decade ago that had better character customization than this.
Yeah, I wish the customization was better, but other than that, I think it's a good time.
And the capture system is terrible. I think. And, well, here's my reasoning though.
It doesn't bother me.
Here's how I play it. Hold on.
Okay.
This is how I play a Pokemon game. Okay. I get the first Pokemon. I get like whatever it is. I talk to Professor Oak or Shrub or Jimmy Bob on the corner selling them for cheap. Whatever. I get my Pokemon. I catch 1 or 2 things and I grind. I go out and I level them up. In the first route, I'll level things up like crazy. You can't do that in this game. Do you know why?
You had to do that, especially in Yellow.
Yeah, you can't do that now because catching Pokemon or leveling up Pokemon is only done by either fighting trainers, which is finite, at least in the beginning of the game, or capturing Pokemon. Normally, you could just fight wild Pokemon for days and level up. This time, you have to capture them, and that relies on money. And how do you get money? Only by fighting a finite amount of trainers. So once you're broke, you're broke. You're done. No more grinding for you.
I understand where you're coming from, but again, like I said, we knew that it wasn't going to be a traditional Pokemon. It wasn't marketed as a traditional
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Red, though. It's like, just give me my remake of Red and I'll be a happy man.
I mean, that would be cool too. And for me, like, this is something that I've never understood about you because sometimes I feel like it's one or the other, you know? And for me, I'm like, there's love in my heart for both. My heart is big enough. It's okay.
Just give me, once again, just give me the option.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for simple things that are already halfway in the game. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's got its fine points. I get why people like it.
It's cute.
But
yeah,
I think these are logical, valid complaints, valid arguments. Like, why wasn't this there?
I mean, I'm going to be super stoked, and I'm sure that when a legitimate Pokemon comes out, I will be so happy, and I will play the heck out of that. And I will probably prefer it, but still, I'm enjoying this when it's fun. You know what I wish, though? Oh my God. I wish that they would do an Animal Crossing, but Pokemon.
I've told you there's a game that Double Fine's doing a game just like that.
Oh my God, yes. But with Pokemon?
No.
See? Okay. I want one with
once again,
Pokemon.
They wouldn't do anything that original or interesting. The only original things they do are like
so
this,
good,
or like Metroid Federation Force.
You could call it Pokemon Crossing or Poke Crossing. Do it, please. That would be so great. And you could
It's never gonna happen. It's too cool.
Run errands for Pokemon it's like you could in Mystery Dungeon.
It's like an F-Zero remake. They'll never do anything that cool.
That would be so awesome, though.
Here's another
I would play that.
Yoshi game that nobody on the planet wanted, but that's okay.
I mean,
that's
fun
it's
too.
Cool. It's like, dude, do it, or like here's Mother 3, or something like that.
That'll never happen.
I know, But I think, I get why people like it, but I think my issues with it are valid. Where I could be complaining about how in 2018 there are still like 6 attack animations for some reason for the Pokemon, which already drive me nuts. Where like on the 64 there are more attack animations, like double kick. In this game, Pikachu just goes, eh.
I mean, to be fair, I don't feel like Pokemon has ever been the most complicated games ever.
Game Freak is lazy.
And they've always been...
most lazy developer ever.
But they've always been enjoyable.
Yes, it's just little things. Once again, it comes back to you are a AAA studio. I'm paying AAA prices. Mm-hmm. There are certain things I expect at a minimum, or your game should be cheaper.
I just feel like we've been getting the same thing from Pokemon for a while.
Yes, another reason why we should expect something.
But it's not a problem. They're still good. So I don't mind the formula. Like, I'm of the mindset, if it ain't broke.
Like I said, I get it. I just think there are things like the controls that should just be a given. In that game, and they're not.
But to be fair, I do understand what you mean about adapting and evolving. That's definitely important.
And that's something they don't do.
But I feel like they're Pokemon. They don't really have to.
But
is that terrible?
No, it's not terrible. It sucks that we just accept that.
Yeah.
And maybe we should demand more from a multi-billion-dollar studio. Well, there's gonna be a lot of that on this list.
I still enjoy it. I'm so sorry.
Holy crap. Okay, so you're playing.
Good.
Well, no, it's fine. It's not a bad game at all. Once again, I get it. It just. Really let me use a Pro Controller? Like really? But okay, cool.
I could understand.
And maybe don't make me buy Pokeballs to level up. That would also be awesome. But whatever. Just let me beat Pokemon to death like the good old days.
Oh
Give
my
me a
God.
stick and just beat up. Like, come here, Snorlax. Just beat him with a rock.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh, I'm like, see that? Now you've leveled up.
Kaiju.
It's a video game. Whatever, it's okay. They can't feel pain. Don't ask PETA. It's okay.
That's awful.
It's fictional creatures. I'm not concerned about their rights.
Wow.
Don't hurt animals in real life, kid. Don't do it. But Pikachu, you can throw him off the cliff for all I care. That's fine.
It took a while for that to happen. It took a bit, but that's terrible.
Look, if your Pokemon sounds like Ryan Reynolds, you toss it off the cliff.
Okay? I want to watch that.
No.
No. I want to watch.
Like, why is Deadpool a Pikachu? Stop.
I want to watch Detective Pikachu.
I'll watch it. That's fine. It's like
it's
Ryan Reynolds.
Great.
Why? I have Ryan Reynolds saturation.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not going to lie. At first, I was like, I don't know.
It's him again.
But I got used to it. And then I was like, yeah, it's fine. He's fine.
Okay, so let's get into news. We have, for us at least, a ton of news.
Yes.
And some of it's, obviously kind of late. So look, if you're listening to us for your news feed, one, you're making a grave error. But
I'm so sorry.
But for once, though, we occasionally have 1 or 2 news bits. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things for news here, which is 6 months worth of news as far as we're concerned. But a lot of stuff has happened. This first half of this news, none of it's positive. So if you don't like Matt griping, skip ahead 25, 30 minutes because it's going to be a lot of it. God. I'm telling you right now. And I'm sorry. I will try to remain positive.
You're a griper.
But all valid reasons. Once again, someone's going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're like, oh, only that side of the room's on fire. It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Have you seen that meme of the dog in the room that's on fire? And he's like, this is fine. That's me. Yeah. That is my life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
But that's not bad. I mean.
Ugh. Okay. So let's.
Always look on the bright side of life.
I can't whistle. That's okay. Lemming.
Oh no.
BDA.
Oh no, that's going to be in my head forever
if you don't know what either one of those are, look up Monty
No.
Python and just take some time.
No.
Take some time. That's good.
No.
That's good. So let's talk.
Wait, we don't. Where's the question of the show?
It's coming after this.
Okay.
Right there in the notes.
Just kidding. Okay, I got it.
You see that?
Yeah,
Rest of the show
I see.
after news lots. News and in bold capitals.
Okay.
Lots. That we probably should have been hurrying to, but whatever. It doesn't work.
It's okay.
Let's talk about BlizzCon 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, old news. This is the beginning of the month, but I have to talk about this or I will go insane.
I know. Trust me. I've been hearing it forever. Since news broke of this,
I know.
my ears have been on fire.
I was calling like,
about
are you
this.
watching this crap?
Oh my God.
Okay. So if you live under a rock, or once again, come to us for your news, you wouldn't know a whole lot about games because we don't do a lot of news. But so BlizzCon is an annual convention held by, wait for it, Blizzard, the game studio in where is it? It's California, isn't it?
Yeah, it was in Anaheim.
Okay, cool.
It was in Anaheim.
Where all the good stuff is, California. Yep. Conventions, nice weather, bankruptcy. Woo!
Disneyland.
And Disneyland, of course.
In Universal Studios. Woo.
Yeah, bankruptcy.
Okay.
Wildfires. Oh no. Those poor
no.
people. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I'm glad your parents were okay.
Yeah, me too.
By the
Good
way.
things. Did you hear how Anthony Hopkins' mansion got like bypassed also?
Oh my God.
Like you could see the fire
it's
like
because
saw
he's
it, and
Anthony
went,
Hopkins.
Nope.
He's magic.
He will eat us. No.
He's
With
magic.
the Zorro mask will devour.
But I heard Gerard Butler's mansion got destroyed.
A lot of like people that can't afford to replace their
crazy.
house also.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like I know it sucks, but like Gerard
sad.
Butler could just buy another one.
That's true.
A lot of people though can't
He
do
is.
that.
He is Gerard Butler.
So yeah, hearts go out to you poor people. It ain't good. Like it's never good when people lose their houses or things get damaged. But anyways, so yeah, California. Haha. Sort of the.
I still love California.
Yeah, it's a beautiful state.
It is.
It's just slightly more brown now. But no, I mean, unless you were down there a while ago. Well, it's so dry.
Yeah,
right now.
it's true.
It's been just progressively more crispy. You know, because global warming is not a thing. We're not getting into that. Never mind. Holy crap! No, that was a bad direction. But game show, I will.
Should have made that joke.
I will not touch politics at all. Just moving along. But yeah.
I mean, is there something?
Be well, fire people, is all I'm going to say. Fire people.
Yeah, I must say, like every time I see firefighters doing a fundraiser or something, I always donate.
Yeah.
Or put, you know how they carry that boot around?
Yeah.
Like a fire boot.
Yeah. What are they?
Fire boot.
A fire. Well, yeah, like a firefighter, like a boot. Yeah.
Yeah, like
What do they call
the
that thing?
boots that they wear.
Like
they're
fill the
special.
Boot or scoot the boot. Or
I don't know, but I'm always like,
boot scoot boogie.
I like to put a
donate
little
them.
money in the
Yeah,
boot
good
because,
people.
they're good people, and they don't only. A lot of people don't realize like they're trained EMTs as well, I believe. So they actually see a lot of action, not just fire stuff. So
And up to cats and trees.
I could never. It takes such. That's so
I'm
awful.
trying to think of you in like a firefighter's outfit.
I could not.
Like dragging behind you because they don't have any size that fits you.
Wow.
Like, Daddy, I'll get on the fire truck
No.
too. It's like the kid from Backdraft.
That takes a noble person indeed, as well as like being a doctor and stuff. Ooh, I couldn't deal with that.
Okay,
stuff.
video games.
Anyway, sorry.
We're like tangenting in a
I
direction we
know.
don't usually tangent to. Like,
I know.
Let's talk about the noble plumber while we're out of here. Like, that's a job that just gets a lot of crap. Thank you. So BlizzCon. So convention run by Blizzard every year where, it's this cool thing that people go to where there's tournaments and obviously panels from developers and usually news for new games or characters or just, it's like E3, but just for Blizzard.
Yeah.
So awesome.
And this is weird. Okay, I'm just going to come out and say it because you know how much I love Blizzard. I really did. Okay, well, I don't really like WoW, but you know how much I love Diablo.
Funny you should mention
I know. Why did I say it? But you know how much I feel. You know how I feel about Diablo. How much I love Diablo.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why Blizzard has a con every year, though, because they don't come out with stuff that often.
Their fans are so ravenous.
But what do they talk about when nothing's coming out?
Just little things.
The years that they have a con.
New Overwatch characters, new Hearthstone junk, new stuff for WoW. What else do they do now? I'm trying to like there's occasionally new. Like they don't do a lot, but the fans don't care. They're there anyways.
Yeah.
So, but that's good.
But can you get like exclusive merch and stuff?
Oh yes, you better believe it.
Okay, see
exclusive
that
merch and exclusive in-game stuff.
I guess I would go for that, but it's just weird to me that a company that doesn't put games out. I mean, they take years to put out games.
It's like Star Wars. How long were there Star Wars conventions before there was another Star Wars movie?
Fair enough.
It's like that's the level of fanaticism.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
The hardcore, obsessed gamer that goes to these conventions. Let's all keep that up here. Okay, just keep
I know.
We're coming back to it later.
I know.
We're coming back to it later. Okay?
Because I've heard this.
You have. You
Many
have to. But you're gonna hear it
times.
from me now. So during their keynote where they're doing all their announcements, they've done everything else. They've announced like Warcraft 3 remastered, which is cool because Warcraft 3 was awesome before it like went to hell.
You love Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I love the lore in Warcraft.
I think we talked about that.
So that's super awesome. But so building up to the convention, there was a lot of hype around Diablo. For different reasons, like the program, the icon for Diablo is the first time it hasn't been Diablo 3. It was specifically different. Diablo got the Prime right after the keynote panel spot, which is a big deal. Like usually only when there's a big announcement.
Is that a big deal?
Yes.
Because I feel like you would wait until the end, right?
Well, no. You wait to the end of the opening ceremony, and the first big panel is the big announcement that everyone wants to dive into. That's the way it is. So it's the Prime
That makes
spots.
sense. That makes sense.
So all this stuff, and it's building, and people, and they're selling all kinds of tickets. And like a week or 2 weeks before the thing comes out, they're like, oh, by the way, don't expect anything cool from Diablo. Just saying, guys. Which already, to me, felt kind of shady because there are people buying tickets specifically on the thought of Diablo stuff because of the way they're marketing it. Oh, by the way, also, in all of the marketing, there's a brand new, different style Diablo that wasn't in 3 that looks a lot more like either 2. So people are thinking there's going to be a remaster of 2 or something else. Oh, my God.
I would love a remaster of 2.
So people are going into this with the thought that there's going to be something because of the marketing and the setup and all this stuff.
I have to say, they did say.
Yes, they did. But
they
also,
did say.
After everyone bought their tickets and they were sold out for a month. So regardless, they did say too darn late. But anyways, hold on.
I like to play devil's advocate. I have to.
That's fine. But once again, great. So then we get to the actual show. We're sitting there through all the things, and this cute little man walks out. Okay, it's this adorable little guy who just looks nervous as all get out, and for good reason.
Poor guy.
If only he knew.
And can you imagine how he must feel? Okay.
Yep.
Go on.
Walks out there and starts talking, and we're like, okay, talking about Diablo, yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, and we're always looking for new avenues to do things, and then he says the one word that I guarantee you no one in that audience wanted to hear. Mobile.
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish.
So I'm gonna let you finish. So, Diablo on a cell phone. Okay, let me explain to you why this was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen Blizzard do.
What?
Hold on. I've had this talk with you before. The existence of a Diablo mobile game in and of itself is a great thing.
Yes. Thank you.
Hold on.
And it's not like
what was not a great thing, what was incredibly dumb and to me shows that they really don't have any idea what their audience wants anymore, is you make the grand big announcement at your show full of thousands of hardcore PC gamers, not casual not phone gamers. They're like the phone people that play like Fate or Pokemon Go don't go to these conventions from across the country. They just don't. They go to find out what's going on with WoW, what's going on with Overwatch, what's going on with hardcore Diablo PC console stuff. Not saying that this is bad.
It's not. And you know what? I guarantee you all of those people had some kind of mobile game on their phone.
But that's not what they wanted. You don't pay hundreds of dollars to go to a convention about hardcore gaming to hear about a cell phone game.
I understand, but here's the deal. It's not like they said, hey, you're getting Diablo mobile only. Diablo 4 is not a thing, guys. This is not replacing Diablo 4. It's going to tide you over. And for me...
A lot of people think it's replacing Diablo 4.
Do I want... Of course I want Diablo 4. You know how much I love Diablo. Of course I would love a remake of Diablo 2. That would be rad. But it's not, to me, it's not a big issue. This is gonna be cool. It's Diablo. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna play a little bit differently, sure, but it's still gonna be Diablo.
You can't have a bunch of skills anymore because you realize it's also
it's gonna tide me over until Diablo 4 comes out.
I don't think so at all, but
which is not a problem.
Regardless of how good or bad the game is, I don't think any rational person can argue that announcing it like that was not a huge blunder on their part.
I'll give you this. I think that the way things were done was a little poor, but it wasn't a huge deal.
I think it was a huge deal.
Because I think they should have done...
every other studio that's done this and done it right. Okay? Like
Bethesda?
Bethesda did it right. We're making this crappy Elder Scrolls mobile. I say, once again, I'm sorry. We're making this Elder Scrolls mobile game, which has been delayed, by the way, now.
Oh, no.
But here's also this. Or Nintendo, where they're like, we're making this Metroid game for the 3DS. Meh, but Prime 4 is on the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's common sense. If Nintendo, the most backwards video game company in the universe, figures this out, Bethesda, or not Bethesda, but we're going to get to Bethesda actually too. Blizzard, just who was so in touch with their fandom, had no idea all these hardcore gamers would be upset that this was how they ended the show. Like you could have announced it at the beginning of the show. You could have announced it just separately or anything. But like we're all sitting here like, what's the big thing?
I just think their mindset is like it is still Blizzard.
It's just the timing. Like
Blizzard is like
anywhere else
being like, hey,
and it would have been fine. Or all they had to do, all Blizzard had to do would be to put a logo on the screen. That's all they had to do. And people would be like, okay, cool. But they wouldn't do it. And it just made people mad. And then afterwards, when they're asking questions and people are like, is this really it? Like, can we do something else with it? And people are like, oh, what? You don't have phones? I'm like, don't ever insult your consumers. Are you insane?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake too. But to be fair, they were a little bit defensive because they felt like they had something good.
Because they were out of touch.
If you put a lot of money into something like it's Blizzard, I understand it's not Blizzard making it, but it is Blizzard approved. Yeah. And they have, I mean, the reason why they refused to show not fan art, I'm so sorry, art or like concept art, that's the word I was looking for.
Literally anything. A big D and a 4.
Is because they're picky. You know, they're very
too picky at this point.
In some cases, I do think so, yeah.
Like Blizzard is way too perfectionistic where they just need to show something.
But what's crazy is people eat up concept art, myself included.
Even if it's not the same.
Love looking through people's rough sketches. I love buying art books and seeing like, this is what this was and seeing like, this is what this was and look at what it turned into. I'm so sorry. I keep smacking the mic. And this is what it turned into. I think that is just the coolest thing ever to see where people start. You know, and I don't think that that's only me. I think there's a lot of people out there that really like that.
Books and
yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
Also. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was just the timing and their response. And they were out of touch. They expected people to be like, oh! And But so long story short, that it was way too long as I cut it all out. I think Blizzard's just out of touch with their fans.
I get it. Ultimately, I understand.
Like it's gonna be good, but they really shouldn't have done that as their like high notes.
I get it. I also agree that they could have done things a little bit differently. But as you know, this has happened to me before. As an artist, like when you're working on something, it hurts. If you work really hard at something and you've worked on it for an hour or 2 hours and someone comes over your shoulder and looks at something and then they start criticizing it, it hurts. And it's frustrating and your automatic reaction is to get defensive.
But if you're a professional though, you need to just deal with it and move on.
And that does happen. I have grown exceptionally thick skin. I mean, working in the retail industry, being an artist, like absolutely. Doing a lot of things that I've done throughout my life, I've had to grow thick skin because you're going to get criticized and that's fine.
I have a perfect example. I'm sorry, of how you aren't a Gears fan, but you've played Gears. Gears is fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember at E3 how Microsoft showed off that really terrible looking pop Gears thing?
Oh, yeah.
And people were like...
People didn't make that much of a big...
No, they didn't. Because right after that, they're like, hey, new Gears game.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, though? Like, here's like, there are people, if Microsoft hyped up a Gears game and that pop game was it, can you imagine the venom?
Yes.
It's like that.
I do understand both viewpoints. But again, I feel like there's no reason to be upset about it because it's not going to replace Diablo 4. it's just going to tide you over.
Yes, although it's not going to tide me over at all. I'm just going to play something else.
And to each his own.
Yes, but once again, it's going to be a good game. It was just it was a case of terrible timing and not understanding what the fan base there wanted to see.
But I do understand, and I wish they would have taken that approach that Bethesda did, which was, hey, this is what we have.
But here's
we know that it's not what you wanted, but hey, we are working on what you wanted.
In like 3 years.
And I think that's cool. And then people are like, all right, cool. That's fine.
It's funny, though, because there are all kinds of rumors and leaks coming out, which I swear to God is Blizzard trying to do damage control about like there being a Diablo 4 announcement that was pulled last minute because they weren't happy with it, or other like rumors about Diablo. All this stuff that is honestly coincidentally leaked right now.
Yeah, and Blizzard has such a reputation. They are such perfectionists that it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I don't know if they're telling the truth, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was
Not
real.
In the least. But
because they are like that.
Let's move on because this has been going on forever. And I still have that was the first news item.
Yeah.
So
oh God.
So let's talk Sony really quick. This is very. This whole chunk is super depressing.
I'm so afraid.
So Sony's skipping E3 next year for the first time in over 20 years.
What are they doing?
And they already skipped the PSX thing that they're like their own BlizzCon last year or this year. They skipped it this year because it's supposed to be October.
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't have any games to show.
And see, that does terrify me. Because, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know if this is right, but in previous E3s, Sony has shown the same game twice, right?
They've shown the same. They've shown Last of Us, I think, the last 2 years, and that zombie game the past like 3 or 4 years in a row.
Did they not show goodness gracious with Del Toro in it?
Yeah.
Who played the Del Toro cameo?
For like 3 or
Death
4 years
Stranding,
now.
yes.
They've had nothing
that game looks amazing
new.
Still.
They've got nothing new coming out.
But didn't they show that?
They've been repeatedly showing that more than twice.
And I guess maybe
Death
they just
been at least the past 3 years, if not more.
And this is how I'm going to take it, because I'm going to take it try to take it in a positive light. It does scare me though, and I'll share why it scares me in a little bit. But I'm going to take it as they are yes, they do have games coming, but they're tired of repeating themselves. They don't want to pull Blizzard or whatever, as terrible as that sounds. They don't want to disappoint people. Can you get it.
Though? Like it just to me, it sounds like poor planning on their part. They need to have exclusives out every year.
I mean, I understand. The thing that worries me though is I feel like right now it is just, I want to call it a fact, but I feel I don't know.
You feel like they're getting lazy? Like they're getting complacent in their
No,
victorious
I was going to
position?
say especially this holiday, like keeping track of those
Sony's
numbers,
crushing.
They're killing it. They are killing it. They are for Black Friday. I feel like they definitely outsold. There was an article about that, how Sony has been outselling for the holidays Microsoft consoles.
But it's happened before. Remember?
Yeah.
This happened with the PS2.
And so I'm worried. I hope that they don't let that get to their heads.
I'm afraid they are.
That's what I'm concerned about.
It's like they're trying to self-destruct because Microsoft, concurrently with this, is buying up every game studio on the planet.
And that is so smart on Microsoft's part because they realize that they don't have as many exclusives as Sony does at the moment. And then they don't have anything planned that I know of. I mean, you can correct me.
This generation is dead.
But did they not cancel, what was that one that they were working on?
They canceled Scalebound.
Scalebound, that one.
Crackdown is finally coming out sometime next year.
Great.
But the hands-ons I've seen says it doesn't. It feels fine, but not like they shouldn't have taken 4 or 5 years to make.
But I'm proud of them. You know, I've never been much, even though I own Microsoft products and I own an Xbox, I've never been much of a Microsoft fan. I've always been a Sony fan. But I'm proud of them that they're realizing, hey, we don't have a lot of exclusives. We're not very...
No excuses for no exclusives.
We're not very... we're not being very competitive right now. So let's buy up studios and let's start getting competitive. I think that's really cool. But this is not the time for Sony to back down on that.
No.
I'm scared, but I'm also scared.
I mean, I'm not scared. Competition is good. I don't care who has the best console.
I
really don't.
I mean, that's true.
Like I'm A-okay. I would be fine if Microsoft had the best console. I really would. I have all of them anyways. That's fine.
Yeah.
I buy Sony stuff mostly because they have the games I want to play. They have Spider-Man. They have Persona. They have Uncharted. Microsoft has Halo and Gears and Forza, and that's all they've ever had.
Their exclusives tend to be FPS.
I'm calling
Except
it right
Fable.
now. I'm going to go ahead and draw the line in the sand. Xbox is going to crush PlayStation next generation.
You think so?
Absolutely. Just break their neck and throw them in the sand.
Maybe.
Like Bloodsport style.
I think so, maybe. But, excuse me. Here's the deal. Here's another thing that I've been dwelling on that's kind of freaking me out, because I read another article and it was with the developer. I can't remember who the developer was. But they were talking about, hey, with Sony and Microsoft's next, we're in talks with them with their next gen stuff, whether or not it's digital only.
That's something else. So you've heard about the discless Xbox One rumors.
I have heard that. So, so they were saying digital only, or if there are discs, either way, it's fine. We're going to work with them. And so right away I started thinking, so I was like, oh no, because I'm still, I'm an old school person. I do like to have my physical media, but I do understand I do own digital stuff as well. There's not a problem with that, but I do enjoy physical media. I hope that doesn't go away, because there's a lot of brick and mortars, I think, that rely on physical media, but also, it concerns me because then I heard Sony talking about that, and I'm like, I hope that this is not their step into saying, okay, we're not going to do that anymore because we're going to stop doing physical media.
PSP Go. It's only. I'm sorry. It's a matter of time. PC's been digital only for years.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
If you're a PC gamer, you've dealt with that for the better part of a decade.
It's gonna
where
happen.
You're online only. You don't really need a disc anymore.
Yeah, but
I get it.
Here's the facts, though. Digital is just better. I'm going to go and say, physical is cool.
But why?
Because it's convenience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to get off my fat butt, specifically my fat butt, to go to the couch to put in a new DVD if it's all there.
But, it's fun. It's fun to... We've even done this a few times.
But ditch the fun part. Just for straight convenience, digital is always better. And convenience is what this world is about now.
I mean, I guess...
with our grocery delivery, for crying out loud. We don't like to move for anything. It's like...
Hey, they used to have grocery delivery back in the day.
Yeah, but everything's delivered now. And our DoorDash and our Amazon Prime. If we don't go outside, it's a good day for most people. Don't be that people.
No.
But
I like that, and I think you can make it kind of a thing. You can call up your friend, hey, you want to go with me to this store and let's pick up this. I think that's fun. I think that's cool. I will miss that. And also I fear for brick and mortars,
Definitely.
and then I think that once we realize what we've done to ourselves, when they're gone, we're going to be upset.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want them to go away completely.
I just think it's inevitable that media will go more or less digital.
But at the same time, to be fair, I don't think it's that dire. I think we'll adapt and we will find a pattern and something will work out. You remember...
They'll be used USB stick stores.
But
Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
It's like this flash drive has Duke Nukem on it.
I think there will always be a market for physical media.
Of course.
And
yes.
so I don't think it's ever gonna.
Yeah,
I don't think it's ever gonna go away.
No.
And I feel like we'll adapt. We'll figure out what's going on. We'll find our place. It'll be fine.
You are way too positive.
No, not at all. Okay, but remember we had this conversation.
We're all going to die.
No. Remember we had this conversation about we were watching Tales from the Dark Side? And a lot of those.
Don't get me started on computers.
Oh my God, I love Tales from the Dark Side.
Computers still terrifying.
But
I'm sorry.
lot of those
there weren't
episodes
hackers in the 60s and the 70s.
A lot of those episodes with Tales from the Dark Side was in the 80s.
In the 80s, yes.
But if you go back and watch a lot of those episodes, which are fantastic, by the way, a lot of them are about evil computers or evil technology and the fear.
We're sidetracking really hard.
I know,
again.
I'm so sorry. It ties in, I promise. And the fear of that, because the best horror, in my personal opinion, is a reflection of society at that time. So it's understandable in the 80s when that stuff was really starting to take off, that it was, they would write stuff about that because they feared what would happen to our society. They feared computers taking over, computers taking jobs, or et cetera, et cetera.
But they have.
But we adapted. We're fine.
There's a lot of homeless people now.
I'm
not going to get into this right now. But you're fine. I'm fine. Bob's not. Bob was turned into a cyborg in 1986. I started
getting a cramp in my leg.
That's what you get. That's Bob right there. Bob's getting you. He's getting you. All right, moving on. Next. All right.
Either way, let me just finish it on this. We will survive. Yes. We will be fine. Don't freak out.
With Microsoft dominating the next generation.
Maybe.
Saying it right now. They have so many studios in their grasp.
Because I have such a soft spot for Sony. Because I grew up with Sony.
It's whatever. And Nintendo, they'll either learn or they'll go away. And that's fine. I also prefer Sony, but they're going to be dumb and not make games. And then over here, they're also going to randomly censor a bunch of stuff.
Or maybe they have something magical up their sleeve, and they're just not
because it could be like Nintendo, where Nintendo skips E3, but Nintendo also has.
That's true.
Hold on though, Nintendo also has like bi-monthly things. Sony doesn't.
Accurate, but Nintendo has skipped E3 for the past how many years?
Yeah, because they have Nintendo Directs,
and it's really not that big deal.
Because Nintendo has game announcements of their own. Sony does not.
But maybe they'll start doing that.
We'll see.
Or when they feel like it's necessary. Oops, I spit on you. I'm so sorry. When they feel like it's necessary, they'll go, "Hey, surprise, guys! We have a Sony thing, a Sony tree."
It's just creepy because they already skipped PSX, so that's going to be like an 8-9 month period with nothing.
Well, maybe they need something. They need some time to work on whatever it is they're working on.
My personal belief is that they may have just like blown everything they had, and they don't have anything else. Because, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out next year.
Yes.
That zombie game.
January 29th.
What is that darn zombie game called? I can't remember what the heck it's called.
What?
The zombie game with the zombie bear.
Oh, Days Gone?
That one, yeah.
Days Gone,
That's finally
that looks really
coming
good.
out. I would be surprised if Death Stranding is a PS5 game. I really wouldn't at this rate.
Oh,
and then Last of Us 2, and that's it. Like that's just about all they have left to show. And then, then again, there's a Ghost of Tsushima, which looks cool. But that's it, kind of. But moving on. Really quick, and I mean, bleedingly quick. Like my eyes are gonna pop out of my head, like I'm watching Red Line again. We're gonna talk about.
Oh, that's such a good anime.
Sony's bizarre and kind of rude censorship policy, where they just sprung it, and a lot of developers had to either stop making their games or flip flop them.
Oh boy!
I'm not gonna get details on this because it's not appropriate for the show, but I think we can personally. I think we all agree on that. I am all for rating systems. I think rating systems are great where if something has inappropriate content, people need to be made aware of it 110%.
Absolutely.
To that end, though, art or media in any form, as long as it's legal, and I say legal specifically, so if there's any party in the art that was willingly or unwillingly involved in it, that's what I mean. Otherwise, let the consumer decide what they want to do with it.
Absolutely.
Like, please, because, I mean, you wouldn't want Game of Thrones censored. Would you? I mean, or like that really terrible Snakes on a Plane dub. That's just dumb.
I get it, but I understand that this one's really hard for me.
I just wanted to just really quick. I just wanted to just have an opinion where I just don't think it's also been terrible for studios because studios that have had games out. Sony's like, oh, by the way, no, you can't do that. And they also can't talk about it or they'll lose their privileges to ship on Sony consoles.
Yeah.
That's terrible business right there.
Yeah, I understand.
That's hurting a lot of studios badly.
This topic is, if I can get my words out, English is hard, is really hard for me because I understand both sides so much, but I do have to side with let the consumer decide because
vote with your wallet.
Also, as you know, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad because I mention this all the time. But if I was working on
it, Castle.
No, if I was working on art, and I have done that in the past, where I had this one piece a while ago that I took to a con. Of course, it was covered up, but it was a fairy.
I know that piece.
And the fairy was naked, and there's nothing wrong with that. There was nothing dirty about it. There was nothing. It just was. Of course, I covered it up out of respect because you don't want kids to come around and see that stuff, especially if they don't have permission from their parents. But with art, it's so hard.
And you wouldn't like that if someone was like, you can't sell that.
Absolutely not.
You have to give her a jacket.
Yes, I would be offended because I would say, well, it's done respectfully. It's not dirty in any way. I mean, look at all of these great Renaissance paintings that have the same, type of look to that. I mean, I'm not comparing that to Renaissance painting, of course. I'm not on that level, bruh. I'm not on that level.
Wonderful chippies.
But it's.
I want you to know.
But
I like some of your work more than Renaissance paintings.
Oh my God, you liar! But it's. But I do understand where they're coming from, though. You don't want that stuff easily accessible to kids, and I do. But that's why we have a rating system.
And good parents,
absolutely, and good parents.
I'm sure some of you are wonderful parents.
Absolutely,
out there. Not you.
But I do have to question, though, two things. I mean,
I know what you're going to say. Is it necessary?
Is it necessary?
And the answer to that is. It doesn't matter. If it's the artist's vision, it's the artist's vision.
I get it.
It's not our place to choose.
And trust me.
Exactly.
I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to take away from the game. So I'm like, okay, well, if it's a good game, I don't really care how she's dressed, you know, or how if the elf has
or word. It's not just like visuals. It's words. It's sequences. It's like this goes back a long ways of stuff being removed that was deemed. This is getting really deep. I didn't want to, but like that's deemed problematic and all this stuff. It's like this is why we have an ESRB.
Of course,
this is why this stuff exists.
But I also do understand how on that one side it can tread into dangerous territory, and get a wee bit totalitarian. Yeah. Now,
I was going to say this does sound kind of Blade Runner, where the state says this game's too tough or this game's too rude for you. You can't watch this, adult Brittany.
I mean,
because the government says it's not safe for your eyes.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Okay, but like let me put it to you. There's an example of censorship. Actually, I'm going to talk about that. I'm fine with. Because it makes sense. New Smash Brothers. There are not trophies, but spirits, which are other Nintendo characters or just video game characters that you can link to your characters to give them stat boosts, different abilities. Mithra from Xenoblade is in there. And you know, Mithra obviously is a typical anime chick. She has been changed where she's wearing leggings now and she wasn't before. And some stupid people are like, why is that? I'm like, because it's a game for children. So in a game for children, rated E for everyone, I don't want that to be in that game. So of course they're going to change it.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally...
Like, that's fantastic.
And that's perfect. I'm glad that you said that because I feel like it should be on a case-by-case basis.
Now, if they retroactively put that in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I'm going to burn something down.
Oh my God.
Because don't mess with my game.
But it's not going to take away from your gameplay.
What if it does? What if I like Mithra's legs? But like, at that point, it doesn't matter. It's rated properly. It's okay.
But I do have to question on one hand, like... if you're going to be that hardcore about stuff like that, I do not believe that stuff is as hardcore as, say, playing GTA 5. Because I'm going to be real, that torture scene did make me feel uncomfortable.
It's a whole different ballpark. Yeah. Once again, that game was for people 18 and up.
Of course, but I feel like it's a little... you can't complain about the way a single character is dressed and not complain about some of the stuff that is in GTA 5.
Okay, we're going to stop. I must stop this.
I know.
But that I would suggest that there might be an issue with the way we make those rules, and perhaps the people that complain about things are rather selective in what they complain about.
Absolutely.
And there might be a little bit of corruption as far as that goes. But
here's what I think, though. Like, ultimately... I think that you should be allowed to make that choice for yourself as long as it is not harming anybody, as long as it is not illegal.
A video of someone hitting someone with a stick going, you know.
Yeah.
Unless the person's like, yes, stick. I enjoy
feel
stick.
like you ultimately should be allowed to decide for yourself.
And vote with your wallet.
You know, and I do understand that. But I do understand both perspectives. I absolutely do. I think that when you make your decision, though, whoever makes these decisions has to look at things and go, I have to look at this objectively. Is this right?
I get it.
Is this the right decision?
I think it's a slippery slope and we're going in the wrong direction where people, if they don't like something, they'll take to, let's say, Twitter and complain about something where in most cases, I doubt they would have bought the game in the first place. They just don't like it.
Or don't really understand.
If you don't like something, it is like, once again, I don't like mobile games. It's within my right to not like mobile games. I'm not going to protest cell phones.
I was going to say, you totally have a thing about mobile games. Some are
really
good.
I'm not going to take to the streets and demand they be removed.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I'm a logical human being and I don't do stupid things. I do lots of stupid things. Not that, though.
But I definitely understand, like... I think it is dangerous territory to say, like, something shouldn't exist.
Who are you to say what's appropriate if it's complete fiction? And I mean, it's like random, like what we're going, once again, the GTA scene. Like, completely fictional.
Yes.
Material made for mature adults.
Oh my God. And GTA is a fantastic game.
It is.
We played the heck out of the game. It's a great game.
Once again, just like Game of Thrones.
But there is stuff in it.
Has all kind of stuff in it. And if you know, you know, and if not, you don't. That's fine.
And I think parents should definitely be alerted, like, hey, this is rated M because it has strong sexual content. There's torture. There's a torture scene.
Violence.
You should know everything that's in it.
Electronic bunny rabbits shooting across the sky.
And then they can make that choice if they feel like that's right for them.
Yes. Or, I will always be against someone else telling me what's appropriate for me.
I get it.
Like, you can't, like, I'm much older than I'd like to be now, so I can listen to whatever kind of music I want without my mom being mad at me. You know, you make those choices, and it's part of being a responsible adult.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing you mentioned, kids, like it's part of being a responsible parent is teaching your, like my first console was Genesis. One of my first games was RoboCop vs. Terminator.
Yeah.
A very violent game for its time period. I was taught that this is not real. And if I began to act up, if my grades were down, if I was a little jerk, that went away. And I got a whooping.
Of course, yeah. And, I have to say, too, people have different varying degrees of what is appropriate for them or what's not appropriate for them.
And that's entirely up to them. Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
And I was going to use this as an example. The show on Netflix recently, Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
You find the reason to stick that in here somehow. Of course,
I really like it. But I do, it has its flaws.
Good Lord.
But overall, I do like it. I do realize it has flaws, though. But I know someone who is a friend of mine that is super.
Just even with the part I'm cutting out, we're already over an hour 10.
I know,
I've cut out like 20 minutes.
I promise this is the end. I know someone who's a friend of mine.
It's not your fault. It's my fault.
It's okay. She's a good friend of mine, and she is very religious. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
More power to you.
More power to her. But
this is a very deep Game Over cast.
I know. What the heck?
Where it's like, hey, be what you want to be. Do what you want to do.
Be you, bruh.
Just don't tell me what I can't do.
But she is not allowed to watch that. Which is, fine. It's understandably so.
Choice, yeah. I know.
She's not. I mean, she's not. She's over 18, but she still lives at home.
You do what mom and dad say.
And exactly,
that's fine,
and her parents don't agree with that, and she herself is like, okay, that's fine. I definitely understand. I myself don't 100% agree with that. So yeah, I'm going to stay away from it. But I personally am not super religious, so I enjoy the show, and there are aspects of it that I really love, and there's some stuff I don't.
But
the
bad parts
anyway.
of the show, like the rest of it. Once again, my opinion.
There are some
I
bad
watched the first
stuff.
episode, and the first episode
I'm gonna
drove me
be real.
nuts.
I know it did, but it gets better, I promise. But there is some stuff I don't like, but there is stuff I really like, and overall, it's a good show. But that is a good example.
Like it, they don't watch it.
But that show is definitely not that bad, and it should still be allowed to exist. Yeah. But she made
possibly not for kids.
Possibly, definitely not.
But
definitely
it says
not.
So. All right, we will move on. But yeah, long story short, people should be allowed to make up their own minds.
Exactly. If you don't agree with something, like I said, as long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as it's not illegal, then you can make that choice that it's not for you.
Yes. Hashtag leave anime games alone, Daniel.
But I also understand it. Okay, a costume doesn't take away from the game.
It takes away from fun.
I'm so sorry. It just doesn't.
Well, it doesn't. But it comes back to it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Moving on. Okay. So talking about Smash.
We said that at the same time.
Leaked more than 2 whole minutes. Leaked more than 2 weeks early. Someone, they aren't sure where. It may have been in Mexico. It may have been overseas, but copies were sold. And because the Smash is a hack box, they were immediately copied and put on the internet. So thousands of people playing Smash right now. As we speak, right now.
You know what I think, though? Nintendo's doing the right thing because they're ignoring people, right?
Yeah.
And see, that's a smart thing to do because if you don't make a big deal out of it, people are going to ignore it too.
I really wish they just released it earlier, though.
And honestly, I think it's just going to add fuel to the fire and make people want it more.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because I'm going to be real. I watched a little bit of someone playing it, and I was like, yeah, that looks like Smash. That looks awesome. Yeah. I want it now. I can't wait to play it. So.
And I haven't hacked my Switch. I've thought about it. I've talked about thinking about it on this show just to get the things that I want to get.
I won't let him.
Like cloud saves and stuff and all this stuff. But just because it's things that I think I should deserve to have, I just haven't gotten around to it because I don't ever have time to do anything. But so I've thought about it. It's like, it'd be cool. And I was like, fine, be that way. You can buy the game now. But they're not. But whatever, moving on, just really quick thing. So
they've always stuck to their guns about that.
They have. Well, they're Nintendo. You want to talk about Fallout 76 really quick? Not even talking about the game, which is reviewing very poorly and is also already half off.
Which is a shame, but I can't wait to see I hope that they continue to update the game. I was super excited about a Mothman, and I hear that there are things.
It's just a big moth.
Because it takes place in West Virginia,
yeah.
Right? I love Mothman. I know I've said that in the show
yes, you
probably
have.
like 6 times.
It's just a big moth, and it pissed me off. Like, it's really?
I mean, but he is a big
moth.
moth.
What about the grinning man?
Technically?
Yeah, but he's like a humanoid, though.
Yeah, he is humanoid.
Hey, once again, I'm family from West Virginia. I know how it goes.
But it is like a giant moth.
Yeah, it's just like a big moth. Where it's like it's wrapped up like the pictures, and then it's just a big moth.
But it looks like a bug. It doesn't look humanoid.
No, it looks like a big bug. It looks like a tiny Mothra.
Oh, Oh, but Mothra's so cute. Yeah, I was a little disappointed in that because I was hoping of course, I haven't played it, but.
Yeah, but that notwithstanding, the game is supposed to be a buggy mess.
Grinning Man would have been cool. Sorry.
I mean, I mentioned this before where I knew when they announced it, like Bethesda is known for games that are being just a buggy disaster. But even if you, like, no matter what you say about Fallout 4 or Skyrim or whatever, the beauty of those games is they're single player. So when the game breaks, which will happen often, you can just reload a save.
Yeah.
In an online-only game, you can't do that as easily. And there are massive connection issues and just texture problems. And regrettably, Bethesda's the engine they use. And once again, there's nothing wrong with updating an engine because many studios like Rockstar do this, but it's a broken piece of junk. So they keep putting new things into this broken engine. It's like if you have like the engine to a car and it's like 60 years old and it's really rusty, but you put like a turbo carburetor on top of it, it's not going to fix it. It's really not. It might make it, sound a little better before it blows up. That's what they keep doing. They keep adding things to it. But mind you still can't use ladders in the game.
I have heard fun stories about people playing it together, though. I heard
when it works, yeah.
Yeah, and so that is encouraging. I still definitely want to try it. I probably will pick it up when it's on sale.
What I've heard, it's half off now, but what I've heard from a lot of people is that people that have fun in the game are having fun in spite of the game, not because of the game. That ain't good. Like, it's really not. But that's not like we're going to move on past that.
I heard there was this clown mission where you have to dress as a clown and then you have to fight a clown or something. I don't know.
But
correct me.
Moving past the game, because I have not personally played the game.
I thought that sounded cool.
Like to talk smack about games I've played.
Yeah.
Just to personally say, hey, this sucked. Just from what I've seen and from every review being at least like meh or worse. It's probably, and plus I didn't really care for Fallout 4, and this looks like Fallout 4 online. I don't think I'd like that very much. I don't think it would work, and there's no NPCs anywhere, which I don't like either. But anyway, so the current issue that just happened is the special edition, the power armor, whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
the helmet.
The $200 one?
Yeah, people aren't getting what they paid for.
Ouch.
It was supposed to come, and this is advertised on Bethesda's website, on like GameStop, on Best Buy, all these websites where it's supposed to come in a canvas, not like quotations, canvas bag, okay? Like, which, nice quality, like duffel bag kind of thing. There's pictures of it. This is it. Nowhere on those pictures might look different or like the Gundam jacket. None of that's there. This is what's advertised in the text when you order it with canvas bag.
It actually does say canvas bag, though?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does
fair
indeed.
Enough. Yeah.
People are getting super cheap, nasty nylon bags, like a cheap gym bag where you put your shoes in when you go to the gym, like this, like how like thin, crappy.
I mean,
nylon,
honestly, it doesn't even look that sturdy.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I have to be real. Like, it's still a bag and it's still cool and it still has Fallout stuff on it. You could definitely still carry your stuff in it. But if it was advertised, and I'm super forgiving. Yeah. If it was advertised a specific way, though, I do feel like that's a little bit unfair.
100% false advertising.
Especially because it was super expensive.
Yep, $200. So you get the helmet, you get the bag, and I think a couple other little doodads, but a lot of people were saying, like, I wanted this bag, and I'm never going to use this bag because it's going to rip the moment I use it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let me tell you, sometimes that stuff, I want the Destiny 2 Collector's Edition so bad, it's still so expensive, because I want that bag. Yeah. Have you seen the bag?
I read a great article, actually, saying that video game collector's editions are full of just essentially overpriced junk.
Yeah.
But in the very least, people that buy it should be entitled to what they're promised, and not even cheaper junk.
Yeah.
And did you hear about the guy who went to Bethesda customer support and how they were so rude to him? There's another thing of people being rough with their consumers. Is a guy said, it's like, hey, I got this, I ordered this thing. It was supposed to come with canvas. It came with this cheap, crappy looking bag. What do you guys intend to do about it? And someone responded back, oh, sorry, the canvas bag was a prototype and they're too expensive. We don't intend to do anything about it. Is how the response was. And then Bethesda be like, oh, sorry, he was just a contract worker. We didn't mean that. There was a shortage of supplies. Sorry. So you're still screwed, but you're slightly nicerly screwed now.
I mean, I did hear that they were giving something.
They're giving you $5 of in-game credit.
I mean, that does suck. But
so you can buy something like, you can't even buy the costume that has the bag in game. Because that's $7 of in-game credit. It's a joke.
I mean, that is a little rough, but at the same time, I can definitely
also no
kind
refunds.
Of understand.
So even though you got something that you weren't promised, you can't return it. No.
Well, yeah, that's usually how it works in a retail
establishment. There is totally a class action lawsuit going on with at least one right now, even for something else before the bag. But so Bethesda's getting a little bit of trouble right now. And once again, it's like just deliver on what you're advertising and don't be rude to your people.
Or I think they should have, if that was the case, they should have came out and said ahead of time, hey guys, if you guys did a pre-order on this, we just want to let everybody know that it will not be a canvas bag after all, etc.
Cancel it.
I don't think that's a problem.
There was a shortage of, you remember the great canvas shortage of 2018? Do you remember that? That had the world in its clutches and we were all crying and screaming, we need canvas! No, because it didn't freaking happen.
I mean, I think that they were afraid that a lot of people would probably come out and say, well, I don't want it anymore. But I honestly think that if they were upfront, like myself as a consumer, if a product that I was buying, if that company came forward and said, hey, we can't deliver on this, instead it's going to be this, if you want, you can cancel your order or whatever, then I'd be like, no, that's okay, I'll still buy it because I would.
They hid it. And now they're saying, tough, you've already got it, even though we falsely advertised to you.
I'd be like, hey, I appreciate the honesty, and I'm definitely still going to give my support.
Yep.
So I think they were afraid, they didn't have faith that people would do that.
Yep. Which is a shame. I mean, they also apparently didn't have faith in their. It's just bad. So Bethesda's not doing so hot right now. But speaking of Bethesda,
they will once they come out with Elder Scrolls 6.
We'll see. It's on the same engine. It's on the same broken engine. They've already confirmed, which makes me real sad because that means it's gonna be just unless they do like a radical revamping of it. It's gonna be.
To be fair though,
Fallout was
Skyrim. The customization really wasn't that grand on Skyrim
either.
It was.
Go back.
No,
to
it wasn't.
Go back.
I felt like there was.
You're mistaken. Then I'm afraid. Go back to it. You had sliders and things.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
But I felt like well, because when I play games, I pick a female. Yeah. But I feel like the female options weren't really that intense. Yes. Did you?
Yes.
What about hairstyles?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, mind you, you're wearing a helmet 99% of the time, but you had quite a few hairstyles too. Not like dozens of them, but you had enough.
I don't remember that.
For a game, that was what, a decade ago now?
Yeah, it was a while ago. I legitimately don't remember that.
Like 30 minutes of Skyrim though.
That is not true.
You didn't play that much.
Yes, I did.
Really? Who's the last boss?
There was I didn't finish the game. I didn't finish the game, but I definitely played a good chunk of that game.
Who's the villain then?
Your mom.
You found out.
How
did you know?
Ow, my leg is cramping again.
Yes. Suffer. All right, so we're going to get through these last two topics super fast because we aren't even halfway through the show yet.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's one of those rush
jobs.
I'm
going to take a break.
We are in a minute.
My butt hurts.
So speaking of Bethesda, but not Obsidian, the company that's been spurned by Bethesda because they didn't do well enough on New Vegas, apparently. New Vegas, by the way, which is an amazing game.
Yes.
Made in like a year.
You know why I love New Vegas? I'm so sorry. I keep branching out. Because it reminds me of Cherry 2000.
Yes.
And that movie's amazing.
You're right. We've said that before.
And Vegas.
That's fine.
It's cool. Okay,
so
continue.
anyway, Obsidian, now not working for Bethesda, is making a new game. They're going down to the Game Awards in like a couple weeks. And it looks a lot like it's like a retro futuristic sci-fi. They're doing like these phony like Bioshock-y advertisements. Like we might get a good Fallout game. It's not Fallout this year.
That actually sounds that's cool.
So that's awesome. Also, more rumors of a Rocksteady Superman game again.
Superman?
Yeah. I mean, if anyone can make it work, it's going to be Rocksteady.
It's Rocksteady for sure.
Because oh my god,
they're amazing.
Nothing concrete, but it's. I mean, this always happens around when because they're doing at least 10 new game announcements at the Game Awards. Everyone's like, hey, what about this and hey about this? But I
still wish that rumor about them doing a Golden Age Batman was real. Because that would have been so cool.
Batman one?
Yeah.
With like, you punch it, be like, pow.
That would have been so cool.
So epic. But either way, Rocksteady superhero game, I'm in. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to move along and we're going to be quick here. Question of the show, easy peasy. Black Friday is going on right now. So this up for the whole weekend. So the question for us and for all of you at home at podcast@gameovervideogames.com or on the YouTube channel or podcast@gameovervideogames.com or the YouTube channel or, sorry, I was caught deluded. What cool, nerdy stuff did you get for Black Friday?
Oh, man.
If anything. Me, I'm easy. I actually was a very good boy this year. I only got too much. But I'm a big obsessed with the soundtrack vinyls we sell here at Game Over, and I had most of them, but we just got in the Gradius and Snatcher ones, and I got Snatcher. I didn't have Gradius, so I picked that up, and then I bought not here, but I found the board game for The Thing, which I haven't played yet, but it looks so cool.
That game does look cool.
It's at least 4 players, but if you haven't seen The Thing, do so because it's a masterpiece.
Amazing. Yes.
But of just paranoia and awesome practical effects. But anyways, Kurt Russell.
is awesome.
You are these people in this Antarctic research facility where there is an alien that can imitate the way you look, and it might be one of them, or it might be you. And that's the gag.
And you won't know. You can't tell.
So
I think
one
that's
of the
cool.
4 players in the game is the thing, and only that player knows it, and they have to go try to find a way to like corrupt the other players.
Amazing.
The other players have to figure.
That sounds so cool.
It looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. So I got those. It's great.
Yeah, and you got the Warhammer game, right?
That's right. I also got the Warhammer 40K Relic game, which is funny because I hate Relic as a board game, but it's Warhammer.
And you found that at a really good price.
Yeah, it was really cheap. It was like $20.
Yay! I am horrified of Black Friday, so I ordered one thing online.
No, it's one of them!
I know. I'm so sorry. All of my talking. No, but really, I have worked retail long enough to know Black Friday is horrifying. I actually got this really cute no-face bag from Kawaii Pen Shop. That was it.
Ooh, wait, what's a no-face?
From Spirited Away. For
the peeps.
Yeah,
for the peeps.
Spirit. He's a yokai, I think.
One of that dark Ghibli things.
Yes. And it's really cute. And I was looking for something, well, I kind of have a bag thing. I love bags. But I was looking for something that would hold my tablet and some of my art supplies. It's not like super, super huge, but it was really cute and it was really reasonably priced. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Glorious. All right.
That was it.
We are going to take a break, but let us know what cool things you got for Black Friday. Podcast at GameOverVideogames.com. Yeah. We'll be right back because I'm going to be real with you. My butt hurts. See you in a minute.
Mine too.
Hey everyone, Matt here. And has this ever happened to you? You're in your local Game Over looking for a specific game and they don't have it. Not to worry, friends. GameOverVideogames.com has got your back. Just go to our website and chances are we'll have what you need.
But Matt, I don't want to pay any shipping fees.
How did you get into my house? Not to worry, random lady. Just select the pick up and store option and we'll send it to the Game Over store of your choice within 30 days at no extra cost to you. So hop on today and check it out. GameOverVideogames.com. Making retro gaming easier with the power of the internet. Welcome back to Game Overcast. This is the song that I sing when I'm bored. Okay.
Hello. Welcome back.
So our topic, which originally was going to be more, but because that took so much time, we're going to break it up. We were originally going to do our favorite games of 2018.
Well, because you know us, we always go off on tangents.
And our most anticipated games for 2019. But we're just going to do... Hold on.
You did not tell me that.
No. I knew this was going to take forever, so I didn't do it.
Thank God, because I did not prepare.
That's going to be the next show. Now, I didn't tell you about it because I knew there would be looking at the news, there'd be no way we'd get done with it.
We hear you, person who said Metroid.
There is going to be a Metroid
show.
Yes. It's just, I'm waiting for some new Prime news to latch onto. Plus, I need to play all of them again.
Yeah.
So it's tough. But it is going to happen.
Indeed. I'm so glad the 2019 thing because I don't remember you saying that. So
yeah. Well, I think I mentioned it to you like once and you don't listen.
But Kingdom Hearts, duh.
Yes, we'll get to that.
I could have pulled it out.
So we made just little lists of our favorite games for 2018.
And we did not share lists with each other.
So I bet you half of our games are going to be the same.
I bet you it is.
But specifically, the way I compiled my list is I didn't look at any calendar or anything. I actually tried to remember, I can't remember a lot of games that came out this year, but these were games that stuck out to me as games that I had the most fun with, even if it wasn't for a terrible amount of time. Just games where I can look back that was a lot of fun. Like if I'm thinking to myself, in a couple of years, I can look back and people would say a name of a game and be like, that was awesome because this. Yeah. That's how I made my list. So my list is short and weird, but that's why I did it that way, just to try something different. So do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, cool. God of War.
I should have gone first.
Is your first one God of War?
No.
No. Okay, so I'm sorry. I knew that would be there.
But I did have it on there.
So God of War, if you haven't played it yet, play it. It's one of the best games of the year, easily. Probably should have beaten Fortnite. Good. Just saying. Just whatever.
That's not fair. It should have stomped on Fortnite. Nice I know.
But yes,
you know what? Fortnite should have been in its own category
of really crappy free-to-play games.
Of a lot of games are going the battle royale route.
Yeah,
so have a battle royale category or a multiplayer category.
Well, they have
that.
This is just the universal game of the year thing.
Because
there's like 200 million people playing it.
I have to say, it does not belong on par. It's not on the level God of War is because it's a completely different type of game.
True.
Okay.
But anyways, God of War, phenomenal game. The music is
so
great.
Good.
It feels so good to play. It's beautiful.
The music, though.
It'll make me cry.
That's so true.
But it's one of those games that when it ended, it was one of those unique experiences where I found myself desperate for more.
And it's probably going to be like 16 years.
Crushed when I realized there wouldn't be another one until I was like 40.
Yeah.
It was so sad. I was like, no, but Thor. Because when you beat the game, if you wait till the credits, Thor shows up and it's like, but please, DLC, anything? No, nothing.
It's Loki.
Yeah. Oh.
Loki.
Snakes in a weird game. But super cool game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We might find out more later, but yeah, 100% good.
Okay.
Do you want to?
My turn? My turn?
Scrub off God of War, yes.
Gonna...
You go ahead.
Okay.
Scary,
we're just going to take
lady.
turns.
Yeah.
Okay. I put Detroit.
I knew it.
And you knew I would. How could I not? Come on. It's like Blade Runner.
I thought
and then
about
Androids.
it, but I was like, I bet you it's covered.
Yes. Detroit is a beautiful game. It's so, and you know how I am. Like, I love story-driven games. And oh my God, remember in the beginning when they're asking you questions?
What was the name again? What was it?
What?
Hi, was it David? Was it David? Yeah. Hi, David. Was it David?
No, it was.
Gosh, was it Peter?
No.
Are you sure it wasn't David?
No, it was not.
Was it Michael? I forget now what the guy's name was.
No. Daniel. It was
Hi,
Daniel.
That's right.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, I can't believe I can't remember this because we always talk about that.
Before because I played the opening with you and we replayed the opening about 50 times.
Yes, we did.
Like, hi, Daniel.
Trying to get any other. See if we missed anything.
Daniel. You cannot say Daniel.
You can't. There's not a way.
You can like
you
see him in bits. Like remember the scene from did you get that far yet? There's like a scene in Alien 3 where you see him later on where he's like broken in a junkyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
So you can
technically if you consider that saving Daniel, I suppose.
Yeah, hi, Daniel.
But yes, hi, I'm Connor.
But oh God, so good, so good,
so good. And then I knew immediately because there's a part in the beginning where this android is. I'm assuming she's an android, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's that blonde. Is she blonde?
Totally
and she's asking you questions.
Whatever she wants to be, but
yeah. And she's asking you questions, and one of the questions is, "Do you believe in God?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, we got there really fast.
Like,
we got there really fast.
I haven't even learned the controls
and
yet."
I knew immediately that I loved the game. I knew it because it's very that's one of the things I love about Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And what I love about Philip K. Dick is it's all about questioning, and it's not necessarily about the answers, it's about the questions. It's super philosophical. I love that about PKD and about androids. So I could not put Detroit on there. Detroit is amazing. So good. Play it.
Awesome. My turn?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm done.
Here we go.
Kind of.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
What?
Is not on my list.
Oh, I was going to say!
Yes!
I know that you like the game, but I definitely knew that you didn't like it enough
to one of my favorite games,
put it on your list. So if you had, it would have thrown me off.
Yep.
But I knew that a lot of you were probably expecting me to put a lot of AAAs. Mm-hmm. I didn't put it on my list either.
It's whatever. No, because
I knew you expected it.
Me off.
It's a really good game, though.
The controls piss me off.
Thunder Biscuit.
Thunder Biscuit, yes, exactly. But Spider-Man, however, is on my list.
God.
Because God, that game's good. Is it on your list too?
Spider-Man's on mine too. Because Spider Cop.
Spider Cop.
Spider Cop is the best.
Should have his own standalone.
Yes! Spider Cop needs his own game.
I've talked about Spider-Man before. I've played it a great deal more since then. It just keeps getting better. Mm-hmm. I love Spider-Man. I could swing around that city for hours, and I have. Mm-hmm. I think, solved every crime, done every Osborn thing, and I'm still like a third through the story because I've done everything else, and it's so good. Play it.
I know, it was driving me crazy when we were playing that together, and I was like, please, go to the story mission.
Crime. There's another dove. There's another backpack.
Progress.
I am progressing with joy. My joy is progressing.
But Spider-Man is so good.
Glorious.
Okay. I put some 2 on here that were like question marks because I wasn't sure. But okay.
They're actually like
I'm not going to talk about those now, though.
Okay.
I put Call of Cthulhu on here.
Ooh, I haven't played that yet.
Straight up. Because
that's supposed to be really good.
Lovecraft. And enough said. And if you haven't or didn't know that this game existed, go pick it up because it's really cool.
It is supposed to be quite good indeed.
Yes, it actually is.
I mean, come on.
Like and you know me.
Tentacled space gods.
Story-driven survival horror.
With
Lovecraft, of course.
It's the juice.
Cthulhu, yes. Cool. Yes. I put that on there.
Glorious. Okay, mine. Destiny 2 Forsaken. I know Destiny 2's already been out, but Forsaken came out specifically.
God, I wanted to put that on there so bad, and I knew that you were going to put it on there, so I refrained.
It's good. Once again, I'd talked ad nauseum about this, so we're going to be quick because we're running late, but it's only getting better. Like, they just brought back Thunderlord, which is this awesome machine gun in the heavy slot where it's like, and it's way too powerful and it breaks my Titan shield, which pisses me off. Nothing should break that shield. I found out that the hard way. I'm like, wait, why am I dead? I had super rub. Stupid. But it's great. They're releasing Black Armory in like 2 or 3 weeks. They're saying sometime in early December. So that's going to be great. Where the stories continue, there's going to be more guns, more stuff. New raid, which is glorious. Quit reading my list. Checking my list. I don't think so. But phenomenal game. A lot of people now are playing it right now because Bungie gave away for PC just vanilla Destiny 2 for free. So they played that and then jumped on the bandwagon for $40 to get Forsaken.
Oh my god, because it's so good.
Super good.
So
Tons of content, like hours and hours and hours.
And I still have to buy that lore book.
Yeah, the Bible.
I really want that lore book. I bet that's amazing.
I also just today got Malfeasance. You don't know what that is, but it's a pistol. It's like a hand cannon. I have no idea why I got it. I hadn't finished the quest. Oh, okay. I went and talked to Drifter and he was like, "Hey, here you go." I'm like, "Hell yes, cool,
sweet."
So it's a beautiful gun. It's so
I wish
beautiful.
I could have gotten that ghost skin with the cat ears.
I have that.
You're gonna what?
I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
How dare you not tell me? Can you give it to me?
Nope, it's mine. Just my ghost shell.
I'm so
when you
mad.
Take it out, it goes meow when you take it out there too. Booyah! Your fault for not playing it, bro. Not mine.
I know. I was so busy the month of October, though.
I bought it too because with you, the shop that sells things once a week. I bought it with my Bright Dust.
What? Yeah. I thought you told me you couldn't buy it.
Well, it popped up and I was like,
"Oh,
sure."
I'm so mad at you.
I told you were like,
so
whatever.
Mad.
Whatever.
You did not.
I'm a Renaissance artist.
I am. No, I didn't say. Oh, I'm so mad.
Booyah!
I wanted that one. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I put Deathmark for the Switch.
I have no idea what that is.
I knew you. Ha! I got him once.
One of them filthy casual games?
No.
I'm
maybe. I was actually going to say, like, you might get mad at me for putting it on here. It's a visual novel.
That's fine.
It is a visual novel,
cares?
but I love that stuff too.
That's great.
But so it is a
play freaking
horror.
Steins Gate, sorry.
I want to play that too. I don't think that's out yet. Is it out?
It depends on the console. For Switch, no, but for PC, it has been.
It has been? Okay.
Watch the show.
Well, yeah, I know I need to because you've been telling me that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So Deathmark is really cool. It's a game that came out for the Switch. There is a physical copy, so go out and find it because it's really awesome. But it's a visual novel. It's a horror visual novel, of course. And basically, you play... So it's a story... I'm going to slap you.
You just did. Usually warn someone before
I'm
you
going to slap you harder.
There you go.
Okay, so it's a story about
Cut
these
you so
people...
bad, you wish I hadn't cut you so bad.
Oh my God. It's a story about these people who they wake up and there are these mysterious marks are appearing on people. And
like Doctor Who?
What?
You know, with the...
Oh, now I remember. The silence, right?
Less poor writing.
Hey, leave Doctor Who alone.
That's the last time Moffat was good, was that storyline. After that, it was like, nope.
Oh, stop.
Anyways.
Okay. So these mysterious marks are appearing on people. And then not long after the mark appears, these people die. And so you play this one character, you wake up and you're like, what the heck is going on?
Jim.
I have no idea where I'm at or who I am. And I have this mark.
Oh, God.
So,
is it like the black spot?
The black spot.
Hi.
Oh my God.
It's, you got to remember, this is after the madness of Black Friday. We're tired. Okay?
Oh, no.
And actually, I feel as though we're reasonably coherent for a show. Except for like the half hour of us arguing about Battlefield, which you're never going to get to see.
Yeah,
you're welcome, because it got ugly.
Yes.
I got mad.
And we got like strangely philosophical. I know I've done that on the shows before, but like it's been a long time.
Just taking a deep dive.
It's been a long time.
Like, what is the net worth of an anime girl?
Oh my God.
Waifus. Let's talk.
Anyway, but yeah, so, and then you go into this house, but you basically have to figure out what's going on and why you have this mark, and you just find the story. It is super good. I mean, go find it. It's really good. Called Deathmark for the Switch.
I'm a butt. All mine are AAA games. You know, because I was thinking of other games. Like, they released, like, Dead Cells this year on Switch, but I played it last year on the PC, so I was like, crap, it doesn't count.
Does it not count?
My next game is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh my God.
I wanted it to be because it came out in December. And I could anyways because Torn of the Golden Country just came out. No. So I could be like, hey,
I would not
guess
have,
what?
I refuse.
Let's talk about cat girls and robots
refused.
again. Because, yes, so good. I'm playing it for a third
time. But
I
can't get mad at you because you talk about the game almost as much as I talk about Milon's Secret Castle.
Or more, I dare say.
Yes.
Look, you don't know. Maybe it's good. So I'm curious, Milon's Secret Castle. So is that Milon? I never quite figured that out. Like, is Milon the person you play as, or is Milon the owner of the castle?
Oh my god.
Do you know?
I don't.
Did I just like blow your child's mind?
You did. It just explode.
So is Milon like, or is that just like Gilgamesh or something?
No, I always assumed you were Milon. And you're going through.
It sounds like ownership though, like Milon's Secret Castle. Like
I mean, there is an apostrophe
like some
S.
old guy like Dumbledore Milon.
But I was always like, it is your secret castle. Yeah. You are Milon.
It could be.
And since you're exploring the secret castle, it is now yours.
That's the way it works? You walk into Best Buy?
No.
I own this place now. Planted my flag.
No, as in it is
coonskin cap.
It is Milon's secret castle, as in it is his adventure. Oh my god. Stop. I think that's it. It's his adventure.
You ever get something that look where it's like, keep reaching. Yeah. Go on. Harder. Stretch.
But I think you're Milon. I think.
No, I'm Matt.
No.
We're getting really like, we're all Milon. Milon.
Everybody has a little Milon in them. Indeed.
Everyone's got a sleeping cap in their pocket and bubbles.
Yes. And boots that have wings on them. Okay.
Okay. So, once again, all of Matt's AAA games here. My next to last one, Sea of Thieves.
I'm shocked you put that on there.
I only played this game for a month or two because no one else played it, so I had to stop because that game relies on people to play with. But I can't think of many games in the recent past, or just at all, that have given me such a simple sense of joy and just contentment.
That was really fun.
Just be on the ocean, it's pretty, and you launch yourself out of a cannon and splat into a wall and slide down. It felt like you were in a pirate cartoon.
Oh my gosh. I have to say, though, I wanted that controller so bad.
Yeah.
That Sea of Thieves, it was like purple and teal and slightly see-through and amazing. So it was so pretty.
But like it felt like almost like you were playing a Wallace and Gromit thing. Like it had that kind of like Britishy funny humor to it, and it was so good. I think because they've added so much to it. I just haven't played it for a while. But.
I have definitely realized with Sea of Thieves, which was fantastic. I mean, the little bit that we did play together was super fun. But it is one of those games, either you get it and you love it, or you hate it.
You just don't.
You love it or you hate it. You know, you get it or you don't.
But it was a blast, and just the music and the like. It's gonna stick with me for a long time. It's just like You know, there wasn't much point.
That was pretty funny.
It's like your thing with Pokemon, your Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of point.
It's just fun.
And that's okay.
Absolutely.
So that's why I get it.
Sometimes you just want to have a good time.
Sometimes you just want to be
a
fat pirate.
A cigar is just a cigar.
Throw up in people's
face. You get me?
Thank you, Dr. Freud. Appreciate that. But go on. I have one more after this.
You dig? Okay.
You dig, yo?
Okay, so I can't say God of War and Spider-Man because you beat me too, you punk.
They're there. Good job.
But they are on my list. I put Bendy. Because I know it's been out for a while.
You haven't even played it yet.
Yes, I have.
When?
Very briefly. But I put it on. I know that it's been out for PC for forever, but there was a physical copy released. And I know that it was only, the physical copy is actually a GameStop exclusive, but it was still released physically, to be fair.
As opposed to emotionally.
And I bought it. So.
Yes, good.
It's good.
Was that your last one?
Because Bindi is great.
Was that your pièce
And I did play Hello, the chapters.
The free thing.
The other chapters, yeah.
So was that it? Was that really like your final? Okay, thank God. Does it get worse?
Okay, the two that I had there, I guess that are honorable mentions, I put Kirby.
For the Switch?
Yeah.
Ew.
What?
That game sucked.
But I had fun when I played with you.
Kirby's fine.
I know you didn't enjoy it, but I did.
That game specifically was way too easy.
That's another one of those games, though, where you just want to play something that's fun and brightly colored, and you want to have a good time.
No, I'll take it. Opinions, you're right. I feel as though it could have, like, I love a lot, like, the Kirby Planet Robot Autonomous. That one was great, and not even for the robots. Or original Kirby's Dream Land for GBA, Game Boy, just GB, just.
I know you love Kirby. Yeah. This one felt like Kirby. I don't know why you didn't like it.
I didn't like the forced co-op-y thing where you always had the bots following you. It bugged me. Like, turn them on or turn them off.
It's so fun.
It worked for Lego. It looked for 1,000 things. But whatever. I
thought it was super enjoyable.
It was super pretty. You're right.
And then I put Diablo for the Switch.
Really? Really? I asked you. I'm like, look, I'm not going to put we can't put things like Diablo because that game's been out for over half a decade.
That's why it was an honorable mention, and I put Diablo question mark.
MG.
Diablo question mark? So Diablo?
Oh, fine.
Because I'm
also enjoying Diablo a lot because I'm playing. I forgot to mention I'm playing that now too. I have a Crusader at like Paragon 125.
Yeah, because we're playing it together.
Yeah.
But yes, it's fun on the Switch. It's no
different.
These
tricks, by the way.
I know. I'm sorry. That's why I put it as an honorable mention, and it really wasn't like a part of.
I still like my Red Dead gag. Just saying, because I stopped and everyone was like, "Wait a minute."
I was shocked, and then realized that you didn't do it.
Was that your last one?
Yep, that was it.
Okay, cool. I think we are about ready. Oh wait, no, I had one more. My last one. Take a stab.
What was it? Hold on.
Take a guess, audience.
Red Dead Redemption 2. No,
that's right. Just kidding. I actually loved it. Just kidding. I did not. What's the truth? Who am I? Rosebud.
Monster Hunter.
Nope. I thought about Monster Hunter, but no.
Dang, that was a good try though.
Monster Hunter was a phenomenal game.
Because Poog.
Oh, Star Poog.
Star Poog.
Yay. No, Monster Hunter is just an awesome game. Once again, a game that I would never play alone. Ever, ever, ever. But playing with people, getting wrecked by weird electric unicorns, why the heck not?
Star Poog.
And Star Poog. But once again, no, was not on there. I thought about that. I didn't think about it though. Battlefield 5.
What?
Yep.
Oh, you're complaining and then you play it and you loved it and you put it on your list?
Yep.
I am surprised. I'm proud of you.
Because it's fun.
I'm proud of you.
It's just fun. And while my opinion may sway nobody, and I almost want to put all of our arguing back in here because while I am passionate and insane,
you are insane.
David would never stand for it, so I'm cutting it out anyways because it got really violent for a while there.
He is passionately insane. But that is the perfect
But anyone who knows me knows that's true. But for all of my griping, and frankly for EA deserving a lot of what happened to them, regardless of who started it, regardless of who was wrong on both sides, EA,
I get both sides.
Exactly.
Let me just say it.
So regardless,
on either side.
People that were offended by EA pretty much telling them to not buy their game and not buying their game, it's a shame once again because the game
is actually good.
It's really good.
Yes. I wish people would just give it a shot.
You're
Look,
right.
Was it appropriate of EA to do that? No. But we're only human.
You're right.
We get defensive, especially about something that we've put a lot of work into.
So I would say, once again, if my opinion could sway anybody out there, hopefully it will. I know EA is dumb, but the game is good. Do not get it if you're going to play it by yourself, because by yourself, it's a different experience and it ain't fun. It's fun, but it's not as fun.
And come on, you've forgiven EA for a bunch of stuff, i.e. online passes.
You're right. But look, well, also that's the cool thing about this is there is no one for this.
I know, and I must say,
hope.
Well, EA dropped the online pass a long time ago.
I know, but specifically,
there's no season pass.
There's no DLC. There's
which I think is really cool.
Exactly.
I think that's really cool of them.
So here's the gag, okay? And here's something else I'm thinking about. Like, is it worth holding a grudge against EA they'll pull a visceral on DICE and shut them down, and there'll never be a Battlefield again. Just like there was no Dead Space, like there was no good. I say good because there's a mobile.
Or there will be a Battlefield. It'll just be made by somebody else.
No good ones left because they're making Command & Conquer, but it's a trash mobile game. Sorry, it looks terrible. Don't care. Even for mobile games, it looks terrible. Like Diablo, mobile looks fine. Command & Conquer looks terrible. It's like a tower defense game. How dare they? Sorry, I like Command & Conquer. Like Westwood.
I know you do.
Oh.
I know.
But so many studios have died because of evil EA. And they're going to do it regardless if they want to, but we are going to help them unless we're like, hey, we know you said some dumb stuff, but we want more Battlefield games.
Of course. I think they will. They'll just maybe do it a little bit differently.
So,
Call of Duty survived.
Yeah, get a couple friends, get 3 other friends, make yourself a squad of 4. It's half off on PS4 and Xbox One right now. If you're going to play it on the actual good way, play it on PC like the rest of us.
Remember when everybody was all up in arms about Call of Duty and they were so upset about Call of Duty? Call of Duty's fine.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is give it a chance because EA is the company that shuts people down.
Yeah,
if you don't perform, they just do away with you regardless. Yeah. Even if it's EA who made
which is crazy because
it's EA's fault Dead Space 3 was the way it was.
Which is crazy because you cannot. No one on planet Earth can be 100% perfect 100% of the time. You can't kill it every time. It just doesn't work that way.
Did you know that it was EA's fault that Dead Space 3 was a co-op shooter, not a survival horror game?
Why? Because they
survival horror doesn't sell that well, so they wanted to make a co-op shooter.
They told them to make it that way.
Yeah, so they perverted the series. Then when it didn't sell, they shut it down.
That's such a bummer because Dead Space was actually a really good series.
It's almost never the game developers that do the stupid crap. It's the awful companies.
Well, I mean,
it's the corporate demon, man.
Oh my god. I mean, hey, everybody has a boss, you know? Yeah. You have to do what you have to do.
It's a shame that most of the time these bosses have no idea what's actually going on. in the culture of the games they're selling.
I understand, but can you argue with numbers? You really can't.
No.
And so they
it goes back to good business and bad business.
Of course.
Or what was I going to say? It's like Diablo. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll go back to that really quick.
Oh no.
Is Blizzard going to make a ton of money on this game? Hell yes.
Yeah.
Of course they are. So I can't say it's bad business because it's not.
And that's going to help fund Diablo 4.
Do I think personally that it feels like they're kind of like backhanding their core audience? It feels like that to me.
I think that's a little extra.
My opinion, that's fine. But it feels like
a little extra.
In the way that it feels like they're kind of backhanding their audience, and it might be poor ethics, where the people that made them what they are, they're being neglected in favor of this. It may not be true. This is the way I feel about it. But I understand they're going to make tons of money. Mobile games are easy, and mobile games are profitable.
And they're
Why
fun.
aren't everyone making them? Why is everyone making them? Obviously.
Fun. And some of them are bad. Some of them are great.
Some of them are fun. They'll never be console games. They'll never be buttons. They'll never be menus. Ever. But they're fun. But that's it. We'll get out of here. Thank you for listening to a surprisingly introspective and more whiny than usual show. Good
I know.
God, how did
It's
I
his
pull
fault.
that off?
He was whiny.
It is. 100%. I'll take the blame. I get passionate when it comes to stuff like this because I defend the consumer to the death.
Me too. But I can just I love to play devil's advocate. I'm sorry.
It's funny
I know
also because you're also like positive to the end.
Of course.
And I think the world is on fire, so it's okay.
Because I really am that dog that's like, this is fine. I'm in a fire.
Remember,
this is fine.
She called herself a dog.
No, I'm kidding.
Not me.
You know the meme.
I'm safe.
But no, I get it. But I do love to play devil's advocate because it's really fun. And also, sometimes it's unfair to just tear something apart. There are always two sides to every story.
Or 4.
And so I feel like you have to understand from multiple perspectives.
Or you can just rage and go on Twitter.
Shut up.
We hate plumbers.
That's always been my thing. I like to see things or try to see. I'm not perfect, of course. I do have sometimes I get set.
Really short.
But I try my best to see things from multiple perspectives.
You're right. So and that's good.
I think that's important.
All right. We're going Jet. Thank you, as always, for listening to Game Overcast. Yes. If you have any new show ideas, there is a Metroid show in the pipeline, but if you have any other show ideas, comments, questions, if you think that Blizzard should go full mobile, if you think Bethesda should make all their games like Fallout 76, we want to know about it. We want to hear your opinions, and I promise not to make fun of you that much. I don't. But hey, I expect nothing but the same in return, so that's fine. Thank you for listening. I am your host, Matt.
I'm Brittany.
And we'll catch you next time on Game Overcast. Ta-ta.